Hey, how y'all doing? Let me go ahead and turn this down here. I will speak about the music that you just heard in a second. Hello, it is Wednesday, the 19th of September. And time to check in and say hello. I've received some things to review, and I've had a little time so I can talk about them, although the things that were sent to me I could talk about more than what I say today. I'll start with my friend Brett. Now, Brett Harold Hart is someone I have not met in real life, and he's someone I need to meet. Brett, I can tell, is a complex, interesting, and good-hearted human being. He's someone that I would benefit from getting to know. I can tell that he has a big personality, interesting person. So I have his latest release, a collaboration between him, Cooper Deers, another person who I'm friends with online but I've never met, and Gary Maiulo, who is also online and also on here as Two Sticks. He leaves comments. A blue mallet. Brett would be someone very interesting to talk to and get to know, because I definitely like his creativity, and I work in a lot of the same areas in regards to sound and inspiration. So this latest thing here, he explains on the back, is his process of putting together these pieces based on stuff he received from Cooper, and then some drum samples that Gary sent him. So there's a lot of horns, clarinet, and stuff on here. It starts off with where he's explaining that there's different recordings of children and stuff that are incorporated here, and in that sense, it's almost like it almost starts off like a documentary of the event. This is because I got to be honest. This is interesting. There is a quality to some of the pieces where it seems to meander, where it's waiting to settle, and those things are less interesting than. There's two standouts on here because I do like this. I like being able to give good feedback, but I got to do it honestly. Two of the tracks on here that really struck me as imaginative, something happening, are the tracks number 4, Eyes in the Night. Eyes in the Night is dark and quiet at first and slowly ambient moving, and it just slowly opens up. The elements of this piece really work well to my ears. It's something that if I didn't know who these guys were and I heard it, I would ask, who is that? Okay, it's track number 4, Eyes in the Night. Very successful. And the other one on here that I think really works well is number 8. Number 7, Glandular Maladaptation. And if I'm not mistaken on that one, I can hear some of Gary's drums and cymbals in the mix. I'd like to thank you, Arthur in UK. Arthur has been buying everything that I put out. Thank you, Arthur. The latest thing should be there soon. I'm saying that because Arthur bought ear sculpture, and if you bought ear sculpture and you enjoy it, you will like a blue mallet. I'll leave Brett's PayPal address because he's not using Bandcamp anymore to advertise these things, but this stuff is good. Thanks for sending it to me too, guys. Thank you. I also received, and I'm going to have to come back to these because they're deep, and I'm also honored to receive this, and I'm looking to make a connection here. Yes. Okay. So on Facebook, I'm friends with people I've never met, and I'm friends with people whose music and work that I have been admiring for a long time. A band that I think is very powerful and not understood and underrated is Universe Zero. Some people call this Zuhl music. It's definitely, not definitely, but Magma is an influence, but chamber music, classical music is an influence as well. Universe Zero are an amazing band. And Guy Sagers, the bass player, who I rate as a bass player. He's in the Yannick Top school of emotive and powerful bass playing. Guy is a friend of mine on Facebook, and we actually talk, and he recently said, hey, let me get some of my music to you let me get some of my music to you. I'm honored, number one, that Guy Sagers not only is a friend, but, he actually is a friend. We talk, and that he values what I have to say. So he had the label that he's on, Discus, run by Martin Archer, who is also someone I'm friends with, but I actually don't know. Someone I'd love to meet. So he had Discus Records send me 2 discs. The latest one by Guy's band, the Eclectic Maybe Band, and Martin Archer's thing, Orchestra of the Upper Atmosphere. Now, I'll speak on one of these because they're both fantastic, what I really like, and I haven't absorbed them deeply enough to really inform you about them. But I'll talk about Guy's first because I've listened to this more than the other. Both of these are excellent. This one is composed mostly, and it's like, boy, I've got to take some time with this. I really like this. Same with this. The name of this is The Blind Night Watcher's Mysterious Landscapes, which is a perfect title for this. These pieces are improvised, group improvisation. And so what they do is they create these places with audio. Landscapes is a good title for this. Mystery. The way the album starts is mysterious. Very, very, like, purposely, we're not where you usually are. We're going somewhere else. And it's like creating this tapestry with sound to inhabit. There are, to me, just snatches of melody or chords that are reminiscent of something, but I don't know what, which really feeds into the idea of this being music of a mysterious landscape. The other thing I like about this improvisation is that these people are improvising well together. It's like the focus of what they're doing is the entire body of what comes out, as opposed to anyone necessarily trying to poke their head above, oh, here I am, or listen to the bass now, or listen to this. It's more like everything is weaving. Man, I love when people can improvise and make that happen. There's no guarantee with improvisation, and sometimes improvisation can fall flat. This just takes off like a flight of fancy. So the 2 that I will speak of to recommend in this video are a Blue Mallet by Hart, Deers, and Maiolo, and Guy Sagers' band Eclectic Maybe Band. Guy was saying that there's a reference to, or he copped from Jimi Hendrix to name the band Eclectic Maybe Band. I'm going to come back to this because this is really good, and I want to be able to talk about it with, well, I don't want to sound like an idiot talking about this. I just know that this is deep. I also like when I posted a picture of this online on Facebook. Martin left a post about it that available on down digital and CD only. The heck with vinyl. I understand what he's saying. And these are beautifully made CDs, beautiful packaging. You know, with the beautiful both of these. Yeah. Vinyl's expensive. CDs, you get the pureness, you get the pure work. Thank you, Guy, for sending these to me. And without finishing my thoughts on the orchestra, I can recommend all three of these heartily. All three I can recommend. Since I spoke, the other Universe Zero records I have, because I don't have all of them, is I have this the reissue of their first album, Crawling Wind. This was my introduction to them. This is the first thing I bought by them. Excellent. Good God, this is powerful. There's kind of almost like a gypsy folk dance aspect to some of the music too. Sur de dehors. Once again, super powerful. It means a lot to me that I am friends with these people. They've been enriching my life with their music for decades now. And then this recent remix of Heresy. Interestingly, when I bought it and listened to it, I enjoyed it right away. Posted a picture of it. It's on neat vinyl. And Guy shared with me that he thought that the mix on this, even though it was remastered and it was remixed, that they still didn't get it quite right. And after I heard his comment, I went back and listened to see what he was talking about. Well, the drumming and the percussion are real high up and real defined on this. Probably could have done that with all of the instruments. Something else that, just before I go, because I know folks like to know what I'm listening to. I was listening to some gong yesterday. This box set that I bought years ago. Purple Pyramid. Sometimes I would see stuff like this and think it's a ripoff, but this one I was able to get it. I couldn't pass it up on the price. Was listening to the remix disc. People like the Shaman and the Orb, System 7, Astralasia doing remixes of gong material. There's a Mother Gong album. Haven't played this in a while. Best of Mother Gong. And the same for this David Allen one, Dreaming a Dream in a Dream. Really not familiar with it to talk about it, but the remix I enjoyed. Played this recently, Dusty Trails. Josephine Wiggs and her partner, I forget the woman's name, but I've met Josephine. Went bowling with Josephine once. This is beautiful. Really laid back, kind of almost like, I almost hear a connection to what Stereolab were doing, where it's kind of loungy and wistful, but really, really nostalgic. Something nostalgic about this music. Dusty Trails. Don't think it ever came out on vinyl. I really like this album a lot. I'll end up by talking about a couple records I got over a week ago but didn't mention. I had taken more stuff in that I had weeded out and did some trading, and traded for 2 records. 2 reissues of records I've been interested in. I've been interested in the originals, but the originals are very expensive. So I got the reissue of Midori Takada's Through the Looking Glass. This is a percussion album. This woman is a percussionist. Came out on RCA Classical, I think in the 80s. In essence, what this is these are percussion overdub pieces, which on the surface of it doesn't sound interesting. This is a wonderful album. And that artwork really captures, in particular, the first piece, Mr. Henry Rousseau's Dream. There's something very dreamlike about this music. marimbas, and it's all percussion, and it's Midori overdubbing herself. It's really, really wonderful and fanciful, very, very other. I don't want to say otherworldly because it is down to earth, but the way that she's using the percussion just paints that that album cover is really perfect for this. If you can find this, I highly recommend it. Midori Takada. The other record that I found at Almost Music, I was surprised. I thought this has got to be a bootleg. Apparently, it is a authorized reissue. Leaf Hound, Growers of Mushroom. Originals of this album go in the thousands. I'm not exactly sure why. It's a hard rock album. People make comparisons to Led Zeppelin. I don't agree. It's a hard English hard rocking album. Peter French, the lead singer, whose voice I quite like, and went on from this to join a version of the band Cactus. His name rings out right away. This is really good. I mean, it is a hard rock. It's not metal. It is like bands like Uriah Heep, Led Zeppelin, Boxer, Pato, hard rocking, and the fourth track on side one, Work My Body, might have something to do with why people value the album so well. It really rocks, and then the fourth track is really imaginative, and they do kind of a pastiche. It was on the Decca label. I recently looked this up, and I see a copy going for something like $4,000. Sometimes just information like that will intrigue me, and when I see the records reissued, I'll want to for sure hear them, but sometimes I just want to own them just because of that. Another thing I do understand about collecting is that highly priced records doesn't mean that they're good. This one is, though. Okay, I see the time just rolls, and I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to leave links for the records that I told you, the Eclectic Maybe Band and Bret Hart. I have merchandise for sale if you would like to support my channel. I'm just not doing the Patreon thing. I do watch other videos and I see where people do the Patreon thing. And I just want to do it like this, which is, do you like seeing me? Support me, buy my work. I have new t-shirts. I have more t-shirts in, and I don't know if I have an order spot on my blog or not. But I'll leave the links, so if you'd like to support my channel and buy some of my music and stuff, you can do so. All right.